And good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mayor Talisha Searcy. I'm the mayor of the city of Takoma Park. I am so excited to have the opportunity to celebrate in fellowship with the community, all of our elected officials. It feels like a family reunion of sorts. We have former city managers here, former city council members, people who have been in the community for decades, who now are able to realize the vision that so many of us have laid the founding stones to create. So I just want to take a moment to let's give ourselves all a hand clap, because we've each played a role I was looking and I said, well, I read somewhere we started in 2012, 2013, and then I was talking to former Councilmember Schultz. He was like, oh no, we were talking about this long before then. So it truly has been a labor of love and commitment of this community to come together over years, to pull together resources from many locations, to realize the goal of providing safe spaces for children and young adults in our community to learn from one another, to read, develop the love of literacy and reading, to learn technology and computers, and to do it in a way that is community-centric. Because this has been a really, really, really long time coming, and we wouldn't have today if we did not have the tremendous staff in the city of Takoma Park doing the work every day. It is because of our staff that we're able to do this. And I just want to take a quick moment to acknowledge some of our key staff that worked on this project. First, Carlos Arieta, who worked on the construction management team. With our Public Works Department. Also, Ian Chamberlain, construction manager. And last but definitely not least, our library director. Is she like doing stuff? Yes, she is. Hey. Jessica Jones. And I'm just going to say quickly, Jessica, when she presented to the council on how we're going to roll out the library and the resources that will be available, it was during a time when there were bans on books being instituted across the country. And I was so grateful to have Jessica at the helm, because the first thing that she said was, that doesn't apply to us. We will make sure that we have books in various languages that reflect the diversity of our community. We will make sure that we have books at the front of our library to support members of our community that are LGBTQIA. And I'm asked all the time, why is it Takoma Park is the only municipality in Montgomery County that has its own library? And that is why. Because it enables us to more freely ensure that we're not being bound by external forces and can truly serve the community that we are designed to and charged with representing. So thank you, Jessica, for all of your hard work. It was worth it. All of the pain, all of the discussion, all of the time, it was worth it. Whenever you have these types of projects, something magical happens when you cut the ribbon. All of the
the troubles and the frustration and all of the hard work, you forget all about it because you're focused so much on enjoying your new space. I'm appreciative of all of the former mayors, former city managers, former council members who contributed to making sure that we were able to reach this point, because it's beautiful to see now so many young and excited youth in our community that's really enjoying the new space.
I've been going here for the past 6 years now. So I used to come to the library before it closed down a lot. But now that it's back, I'll just come here every time I can. Yeah, it's really nice.
It's bigger than last time. It's bigger than the last time the library was here, and I feel like it's more better and spacious. There's like where people can sit and like eat and play, and there's like a ton of books. There's more books than last time.
I'm very excited to be here. This is in my ward, and I live nearby, so it's great to be able to walk to the library again. I really enjoyed using the temporary library too, but it's great to have it in walking distance, and it's so exciting to see so many people here today.
My niece, I would pick her up every day when she was going to Takoma Middle, and she and her friends would come to the library, and they were supposed to be doing homework, but I don't believe they were always doing homework. If it wasn't like sitting around talking, just as teenage girls do, but also the fact that they were being able to play under the trees that were next to the library that now have the wood available for the wonderful tables in the new space. It is, it's nostalgia, but it also is like a new life on what I remember of the library and how my family used the library over the years before the renovation.
Oh, I love the library. I went to the library when it was smaller. I get a lot of reference books to draw from or paint from. We taught, not me, but I supported a crochet class in the old library, when it was down on New Hampshire. So I'm glad it's been updated. It's a little overwhelming so far. It's good. It's a beautiful space. They need to put a little local art up in all of this beautiful space when they get settled.
I am super excited. I think that this was a great way to spend ARPA money, considering that a big project like this helps to get the money into those construction workers' hands that we know that will also help the economy. But I don't think that there's any way that the council, when they were deciding to do this project, could understand how important a project like this was going to be for children, socially and educationally. We know that a lot of kids are struggling right now socially post-pandemic, and so now they have this big, beautiful library where they can come and build community, and so it's just the right thing at the right time, so I'm super excited.
It's really exciting because we started many years ago, and in 2013, I think, and I've been seeing the plans all along, and this is the first time I've actually seen them come to life, and it's just a beautiful space. It's such a gift to the community, I think. So it's a space where people can come and do more than just read. They can use a computer. There are programs. There's a place just to hang out for if you want just a nice space to read your book or whatever. It's a wonderful. Libraries are very different than they used to be, and now with the children's room, where the door shuts easily and things like that, the kids can make noise, because these days kids make noise in the library. And then we have a teen room, a teen space, which is so great because the teens have their own place.
My emotions today, it's a little overwhelming to actually be in the building and to see the library, the renovation on the rec side. It's gorgeous. It's going to be a great place for our community.
So I am so excited to see this project come to fruition. It is not normal that you start a project, you start to work on it from almost, I won't say I was there from the very, very beginning, but pretty close to it, to then actually see it to today. And it is so gratifying to me to see all the hard work, everyone, because we could have named every single person who is here and some who aren't, who worked really hard to make sure we had this library. And I'm just going to take a moment to say that how important libraries are to our community and why many of us fought so hard to keep this library in our city. When I was growing up in Brooklyn, New York, the place that I kind of explored the world, escaped sometimes, was the Grand Army Plaza Library. And I remember days where I would be in the aisles reading books, and a frantic parent would come up to find me because it was pre-cell phone, pre-times that you could actually track your kid by their cell phone, and they'd have to drag me out of the library. And then fast forward, when I moved here first to Takoma Park, I just lived up the street and rented on Philadelphia, and then we were able to purchase our home and raise my 2 kids here, who I have to say were raised in the library. They were. The librarians who were here, the staff here, truly helped raise my children. Because we are near 3 schools. There is, when they're babies, there's circle time. How many families went to circle time in multiple languages, right? We had French, Amharic, Spanish, circle time. And then they got bigger, and the kids came, and they could write reviews of the books on index cards for other people to see. And I will say that my son had many conversations, I'll say they were conversations, about the place of graphic novels in our library. And I will say that he just graduated with his Master's of Fine Arts from Rutgers University in creative writing, and I thank you all, the library staff here in Takoma Park, for ingraining that love of learning in him. So, as I said, there are so many people to thank. It was not easy being here. There was a lot of long nights in the council chamber, a lot of tough conversations. And I want to thank our D20 team, because for our little municipality to be able to raise the funds to do this project, we needed support from our D20 team, we needed support from our federal partners to really make sure we could do this. And as the mayor said, given everything that's going on in the world right now, as we're seeing a federal administration tear down democratic institutions and gut our community and cultural institutions, it is a testament to who we are in Takoma Park and Montgomery County that we are opening a brand new library here in our community. So I want to extend a thank you to all who are here and all who are not here, who made this possible today. Because this was really a community effort. And where are the folks from Friends of the Library? Where are you? All right, Friends of the Library. Thank you for all you did. Thank you to all the folks who were here at the very beginning in the community engagement for those early sketches of the library. Thank you to, where's Peter Kovar? Thank you to Peter Kovar, who actually stopped us when we were just going to do a renovation. And he's like, wait a minute, I know I've only been on the council for a week, but maybe we should rethink this. And I was like, are you kidding me? But we did, and it was the right decision, because we needed a brand new library. So thank you, Peter. And to all those who came together in these last few years, oversaw the construction, and all those who paid attention to those little details that make this such a wonderful place.
Oh, it means so much. I mean, our former library was so well loved, but there were so many things with it that I used to like to say it was held together with duct tape and love, and that's really what it was held together. And it was a place where people came and they loved, but it wasn't really serving our community. And we can see here how packed it is. The schools just let out, so we have school children who are filling the rooms up. People are checking out books. There's a periodical section, so you can check out the magazines. There are rooms for children, young adults, our elders, so everybody can really enjoy this space.
So very happy to have helped see some of that through. There are always hurdles when it comes to accessing funding. But what was great was really the commitment from the District 20 team, and of course everybody from the mayor and the city council, the several mayors, the several city managers, and the council members who were able to really really unite behind being able to get this project done and making all the different pieces of funding come together. So it's really more the good stuff to be able to talk about.
It's a pleasure to be here today to celebrate with everyone. First, I want to thank Madam Mayor and Madam Mayor for your hard work, and all the council members, all the community members to make this a reality. You know, it was interesting, I was looking at some of the history. The library was established in 1953, right, by the Takoma Carp Women's Club. And it wasn't until later, in 1963, that the city took it over and expanded upon that operation to unleash this opportunity for all the members of the city. And I think about the books that are going to be read, the ideas that are going to be exchanged, and the dreams that are going to be created in this space. And I can't wait to bring my daughters here once we cut this ribbon today. So I just want to say thank you for that. Our proclamations are a little bit shorter in the Maryland General Assembly, so we're each going to say a few words, and then we can read that in full once we all conclude our remarks. But thank you all so much. It's a pleasure to be here. What this means is a space for us to convene and exchange ideas and to learn. People from all across the city are going to be able to come here, use this as a great asset to access education, access books, but also as a great meeting space and access technology, learn skills. So this is a tremendous asset for our community.
This is so awesome. It's bigger than I thought. It's nicer than I thought. The first person who really said, let's do this, was the city manager before me, Brian Kenner. And I was like, really? And then I was like, yes. And the more we studied it, I mean, there was no way for it to survive without just wholly redoing it. And now it's light and there's space. I'm so happy about it. I'm sending pictures to my son who would come here after school and study, and now he's not going to believe it because it's just so nice. I just remember, you know, you couldn't go into the children's room when they were doing a program because there was no space. They were just using the same space, and you could never be loud. And now we have a place for that. So, as I learned more about the old building, it was more and more clear how bad it was. You know, wooden beams for the ceiling, so it was a fire hazard. No ADA accessibility. The bathrooms were bad. But what they did is they kept a place where the books are the center, but it's prettier, it's comfortable. I'm so happy for everybody. I will say, a lot of people had to pull a lot of weight to get to this point. I so appreciate the council. I so appreciate Public Works. I so appreciate the library staff that worked on this and kept at it and kept at it and kept at it through the pandemic and kept at it, found the money. That's a huge lift, and it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't such a good group. It's really important, right? We've got 3 schools very close by. We got these schools. There's a need always for a place to plug your computer in or a place to work jointly on a project. A lot of people live in apartments. They don't have that option to do that at home. And so here's a really good center.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Delegate Janelle Wilkins. I'm proud to represent this district in the State House along with my amazing colleagues. It is such an exciting day, and I am glad that the state was able to be a part of bringing this to fruition. The couple of million of dollars that we're able to bring back, $3 million, really helped to add to the pot in terms of the resources to help this to happen. And we made sure that that happened because our Takoma Park residents and the greater community deserve the absolute best of the best. And as we built, I'm so proud that we ensured that we did it with sustainability and our climate footprint in mind. So thank you for leading the effort on that. I know that from the stories that were told and the intimations made today, it sounds like there was a lot that went into this to get us to this point, and maybe we can hear some of those stories offline about what was taking place. That was like a little, some dramas there. But I wanted to add that I think that it's not by circumstance that in this time of our world and of our country that we are cutting the ribbon today and opening the doors on this new library. It took a long time to get here for a reason, because today we are showing the state, we are showing the entire country and the world that we are opening the doors to inclusion, to safety. We're opening the doors to community and continuing to build community here in Takoma Park and the state of Maryland. So thank you everyone, Madam Mayor and all who are a part of this. And I'm so excited for the future of this library and our community. Thank you. It is such a joyous day. It's an exciting day, and I think that this day is really symbolic at a time like this, that in the city of Takoma Park, we're opening the door today to inclusion, to community coming together, and to learning. And so it has just been exciting for everyone, and there's an outpouring of support for the community, and I'm glad that the state was able to be a part of this and helping to provide some of the resources. It's a place for learning. I remember when I was a kid going to the library and checking out the maximum amount of books and just racing through to read and learn. It takes you to new places. It gives us an opportunity to learn, to be together in community. There's spaces there for people to hold gatherings. And I think it's also important that attached to it is the place where the policies are made for the city of Takoma Park as well. So I think it all comes together in this space, and I'm really happy to get to be a part of it today.
Good afternoon. What a beautiful celebration. Yes, indeed. Delegate Lori Charkoudian and my children also grew up here in the old library. They're going to come back and be mad that it happened after they left, but that's okay. I'm going to tell them they're a part of this too. It's an incredible honor to be here, to be able to have supported this. It's an incredible celebration. I love that it took Talisha, Mayor Searcy, a half an hour to get through all the people to thank, and then still she had to say, we didn't get to everybody, because the truth is that the good things that happen and the reason we make good things happen here in Takoma Park, in Montgomery County, and in Maryland is the way that people come together, federal, state, local, county, municipal, and the community. Like, this is a beautiful crowd standing out in the sun in the middle of an afternoon on a Monday, and you're here because you were part of this, and you're here because we want more of this, and you're here because we can do good, big, beautiful things that reflect our values. And here we are in Takoma Park when the forces outside of this area are moving against science and against knowledge, and we're building a library that's doubling down on science and knowledge and intellect for our community. And when forces outside of Takoma Park in Montgomery County in Maryland are moving against inclusion and diversity, we have a library that is doubling down on books and programming and language and circles that double down on diversity and community and inclusion, because we know what makes our community great. And at a time when forces outside of our community are moving against climate science and cutting off at the knees our clean energy future, we are cutting the ribbon on a building that is Gold LEED certified and will double down on our commitment to climate justice. And so this library means a lot for our community, and it's a really important beacon at this moment in time to show who we are and what we stand for, and that we are going to continue to fight for this, for our community, but also for the country and for the entire world. And it's an honor to be with you and to represent you as we celebrate and double down on that fight, because we know what community, diversity, and inclusion looks like, and we are going to continue to make that happen right here across the state and across the country.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Delegate David Moon bringing up the rear. As I like to say at a lot of these major construction events, for anyone in the community or the government who has participated in them, they are often a relay race happening over the course of generations and years, and it's part of the reason why you've seen so many politicians lined up here to talk about this. But case in point, some people are not around to celebrate the ribbon cutting who were around to help get the project launched. And so I do want to give one shout to our late District 20 team member, Delegate Sheila Hickson. She was the original District 20 bond bill leader, delivering state funds for this, and she was a huge supporter of libraries, free speech, the LGBT community, diversity, equity and educational opportunities and the like, and of course directly helped make the bond funding possible here. It's the late Sheila Hickson, however, and so she is obviously not here to celebrate this ribbon cutting. And we, the District 20 team, were obviously just one small piece of this much larger team effort to bring this to fruition. And with that, I'll leave it with the thought that many of my colleagues said. We're here to deliver a library for the community, and when we get back to Annapolis, we're going to make sure it has free speech, free books, and free expression too.
All right, we can give this to you. Our citation says, Maryland General Assembly official citation, be it hereby known to all that sincerest congratulations are offered to the City of Takoma Park in recognition of the grand opening of the renovated Takoma Park, Maryland Library and Community Center, a pillar of the community which will continue to be a welcoming space for our neighbors, and signed by the four of us. You gotta get the photo.
Free speech and libraries are at the center of some of the hottest political debates right now, and honestly, this is just another reason I'm proud to be both a resident of Maryland and the city of Takoma Park, where we have the state's only library that's operated by a city. So it's unique, but it makes sure that here in the city we have again, free expression, free speech, open exchange of ideas, and a beautiful new facility now for all the residents to enjoy.
It's all about the books, and it's all about the other things that people use along with the books. It's a community meeting place, not just to read, but also to interact with one another. And it's a place where our community gets to find one another, not just to learn, but also to build community.
I think the major challenge for us were things that were totally outside of our control. We were on the cusp of doing quite a bit of extensive work when COVID happened. That impacted the cost of supplies. It slowed things down in terms of permitting and contracting and things of that nature. So it wasn't just things that were within our control, but there were just a lot of things that happened that were outside of our control that caused us, we experienced some delays and increased supply costs that continued for some years. But one of the most exciting aspects of the process was seeing it come from an idea, the ideation of it, to seeing the beams come up, to seeing the mosaic tiles being put back, like to see every time I would come down Philadelphia to just see us getting a little bit closer to realizing the dream was just, that's the best part. It's the best part.
I regret that I could not join you in person, but I'm grateful for the chance to share a few words. First, I'd like to acknowledge all the leaders in Takoma Park who made this renovation possible and brought new life to the Takoma Park Maryland Library and Community Center. Your hard work has given this community a space that will serve generations to come. As you well know, every public library is a pillar of our democracy. And here in Maryland, we continue the proud tradition of Enoch Pratt, Baltimore businessman who in spirit created a library for all, rich and poor, without distinction of race or color. That legacy is alive today in Takoma Park. In the Senate, I'm committed to supporting federal resources for our nation's libraries, whether that means securing and defending funding for individual facilities, advancing bipartisan legislation to support allied initiatives like Makerspace and Fab Labs, or strengthening library-led efforts to bring internet access to every American. Because now more than ever, when there are some seeking to ban books, we need libraries. We need places where people can come together, free of charge, to learn about the world and learn from one another. Libraries are common ground. They are civic spaces that strengthen the bonds of our democracy. So I want to thank you once again for your work, for this renovation, and for all that you do every day to carry out this vital mission. Thanks so much.
Hi, everyone. The Congressman was very disappointed that he couldn't be here and asked me to send his regrets He personally asked me to make sure that you understand he would much rather be with his neighbors in Takoma Park than on Capitol Hill. So I'm sure you can all understand this. On a personal note, I'm a longtime resident of Takoma Park, and along with the others here, my adult children also spend a lot of time here after school, so thankful to the library community. I have a very quick citation for the mayor. The congressman likes to say it's the only piece of legislation he can get passed these days. So here goes. A certificate of special congressional recognition presented to the Takoma Park Library community in recognition of the grand opening of the renovated Takoma Park Library and Community Center. Congratulations and happy reading.
Since everyone has been sharing their stories of the library with adult children, so my niece was in middle school, and I used to have to commute from DC, and she would come to the library. It was her place. And she's now 26 with a little one of her own. And I told her, I said, we're cutting the ribbon on the library. She said, well, maybe when I send Nevaeh up there, she can actually be in the library. I was like, yes, when she comes, she will be able to be in the new library. So it's been a long time coming, but it is really important to keep in mind that future generations will be able to take advantage of all of our labor. So thank you all so much for your work.
The library means community. It provides these safe spaces for us to come together in an informal way to interact with our neighbors, interact with our friends. It is a safe haven for our youth in the community. It represents our values as a community. We have the only library in Montgomery County and as a municipality, and it's one of the things that makes us so special because we as a community tend to want to take on the challenges so that we have the freedom to be able to provide books and discuss topics that are of meaning to our community and not being pigeonholed by other requirements that other levels of government may pose on us. So I think it's one of the best things that we have available as a resource to members of our community is to have access to wonderful library staff, an amazing space to meet, but also fantastic books that cover tons of topics.
One of the things that ties libraries as an institution together, because I've worked in libraries in now 4 different states and in very different communities. I came here from suburban Texas. Before that, I was in northern New Mexico in an academic library. But I think that wherever I've been, libraries have been a community anchor, and that's really what we tried to bring into this space through all of the design decisions and our approach to making this building work for the community here. We want it to be a place where people can gather and meet each other and create community and nurture those relationships, in addition to finding really good quality information and interesting and entertaining books and programs and all of that. It is a multi-use space. It is first and foremost for information and for literacy, but I think that encompasses so many different things. That can be a lot of things to a lot of people. And that's one of the things that's really exciting about libraries to me is they're very flexible and adaptable. And while we do have like a very core mission, there are a lot of ways to accomplish that we can tailor to each community. And so that's what we try to do here too.
There's a little gal over here. Would you like to be in the picture? She's already turned me down. Hold it taut. Hold it taut. Ready? Is everybody ready? One, 2, 3. Smile.
The transition has been interesting. We knew that this was going to be pretty popular and we'd get a lot of people in like right after we opened. So we really tried to do a lot of preparation ahead of time to make sure we were ready to welcome everybody back. And that's why we were closed a little bit longer than we thought that we were going to be, but we needed to get everything in the building all set and ready to go. But yeah, we went from it being closed for, I think it was about 6 weeks, to creating, I want to say it was about 700 new library card accounts in the first 2 weeks that we were open. So yeah, the community has responded really, really well to the new building being open. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback about it. I think everybody's really happy to be in both a brand new building and a permanent building. And I think that that's one of the things everybody is excited about, is we actually get to plan long term now. This is the third major capital project that I've been a manager over, so I knew a little bit about what to expect with a new building. But that said, I mean, every building is really different because every community is really different. And we were confident that we were going to have like a positive public response to the new facility. It's been imminent, like since I got here in early 2021. That has been so much of what I've been doing, is planning to get the design finished, and then to get contracts executed, and then to get construction along, and now to reopen. It's been a long process, but it's a really great team that we have here at the city, and with our partners, especially our construction manager and our general contractor. I feel like it's been one of those really massive group projects where a lot of people were pulling a lot of weight, and that is the only thing that got us here. We've gotten a lot of really wonderful comments and feedback since we reopened. There's a print right inside the entrance to the library. It's across from the reference desk. And it's a very small print, but it was created by an artist that used to live here in Takoma Park, and his family wanted to donate it because of all of the very fond memories that they have of living in Takoma Park and being in the library. And I think some of my favorite feedback that I've gotten since we've reopened was the artist's son came in and saw where we had hung the print and the inscription that we put under it, and was very happy with that. And so I'm really glad that we are able to honor that work, and to look forward to doing a whole lot of other things with the arts while we're in the building. So it's, yeah, lots of good feedback, but that one does stand out. I think I would say thank you to the community for your patience and your support. I know it was a long time to get here, and a lot of resources to get here, and I just hope that we are able to make this a space that feels like it is honoring what everybody expected and expects from the library moving forward. I'm always happy to get suggestions for programs and for books and that kind of thing, because we really do want it to reflect the community that we're in. So yeah, come visit us and tell us about your experiences in the building, in this building, and our interim location in the old building. I just really love hearing how people interact with the library.
1, 2, 3. Smile.
Well, I just checked out a book that I have learned a lot or heard a lot about, The Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. There's a diverse array of books in our library, and we believe in inclusion here, all types of genres, all types of communities represented in books, and so I'm excited to dig into this and return it on time.
Probably graphic novels. One of the favorite books I've read probably was School of Good and Evil.
I like graphic novels, and sometimes I like chapter books, depending on the genre.
Well, I'm going to get on the list for people who are probably waiting for the new Robert Galbraith novel.
It's not really a fun title, but I checked out The Body Keeps the Score. That was the first thing I checked out, because somebody had asked me a question about it, and I wanted to make sure I was giving them good information about it. Yeah, that's a big part of what we do, is information integrity and information literacy, and that was my first checkout, was kind of part of that. It was part of a reference transaction, so yeah. I have not returned it yet, but I'm still within the window. It's not overdue.
I have not taken a book from the library just yet. I have got to do better. It was so crowded the first day, and then I just haven't. But I will make sure that I take some time after this interview to go in there. It's a little quieter now, so there isn't a line, so I may be able to check some things out.